Medyo nahuli na ang release nitong phone na ito, si Poco F7. Nauna na si Poco F7 Pro and si Poco F7 Ultra. This time si F7 naman. Powered by the all-new Qualcomm Snapdragon 8S Gen 4 with a 50MP na Sony IMX82 na camera sensor, 6,500 mAh ang kanyang battery, which is quite massive, and IP68 rated na rin siya. And I'll be giving this phone away in this video, so huwag niyo kalimutan tapusin itong video nito for the whole mechanics. So itong bagong Poco F7 na may 12GB of RAM and 256GB of storage, repriced at $23,999, and ang kanyang early bird price is $20,999. And good news, meron pa siyang platform voucher from Shopee, bringing this down to $19,499. Oh, teka, meron pa siyang higher variant. Ang kanyang 512GB of storage will be priced at $25,999. Early bird price will be $22,999. Pag binawasan mo pa ng platform voucher ni Shopee ng less 1,500 pesos, this would be $21,499. Sulit! Huwag lang kayo basta-basta mag-click any link, so just click the link on the description box below dyan. Official yan, no? Or yung product link na ilalagay natin para iwas tayo ng scam. Now, one of the things na napansin ko dito sa kanya, ang linis ng kanyang white. I would love to get the other one, yung silver, pero i-feature ni Pinoy Tech Dad ang color silver variant. Sa akin, hawak ko is the color white variant, and there's another one, the color black variant. Now, ang ganda ng kanyang pagkagawa dito sa kanyang camera bump, no? Which is unified into one big oblong. Not bad siya ang design niya, kaysa dalawang malaking circle na nakaumbok. This one, I kinda like it. Matte finish ang likod niya, and it has two-tone color. Medyo may pagka-pearl white ang kanyang finish. We have side aluminum frames kasi makita mo dito ang kanyang antenna buds. And in-screen fingerprint sensor na rin pala to, by the way. And one thing to like dito sa kanya is quite thin ang kanyang bezels all throughout tong phone na ito. Ang nipis, guys, promise. Design factor for me, 8 out of 10. Now, itong phone na ito is being packed together with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8S Gen 4, which is a latest chip na meron ng Qualcomm, no? Hindi siya flagship, pero almost flagship level na siya. I would say na it's a little lower than the flagship chip. I would say ang performance nito nasa gitna ng 8 Gen 2 and ng 8 Gen 3. It was able to gather me a 1.97 million points dito sa AnTuTu benchmark, which is almost 2 million as promised by Poco. Ito ang breakdown score na nakuha ko. 4,275 ka ng loop score dito sa WildLife Extreme and a 94% stability. Ito ang score na nakuha ko dito sa Geekbench sa kanyang CPU benchmark. Ito naman sa kanyang GPU benchmarking. Solid. Not bad ang kanyang thermals, and it throttled to 81% ng kanyang best performance, which is debunking na masyadong mainit itong phone na ito, yung kanyang processors, which is the 8S Gen 4. Dito pa lang kita natin, looking good. And take note, I'm in the Philippines, nasa Metro Manila, and yung temperature dito is around mga 34 to 35 degrees Celsius upon testing this one. Now, itong phone na ito has a hefty battery. 6,500 mAh ang kanyang battery, which is okay. For me, quite large na rin siya. In a way, no? 6,500, hindi naman biro yun, no? Packing it inside this one, itong phone na ito, hindi naman siya ganun kabigatan din as well. Silicon carbon kanyang technology, and it can support 90 watts of fast charging as well. And another one is that this has a industry-leading na 22.5 watts na reverse wired charging. So you can act as a power bank. Pwede mo i-charge yung backup phone mo in case na low bat, or pwede mo i-charge yung phone ng iyong kaibigan in case of emergency ng mas mabilis compared sa mga reverse wired charging na 5 or 10 watts. Now, in terms of performance naman na itong battery niya, screen on time was able to last me 2 days upon usage as my daily driver. Ano ba ginawa ko for that time? Mostly taking photos, taking videos, yung normal usage lang, not much on gaming kasi just using as my daily driver. I saved gaming on another date, by the way, and it was able to give me 2 days na battery endurance. Not bad. And nung sinalang ko to sa PC Mark na battery stress test under 50% brightness and 60Hz screen refresh rate, 24 hours and 18 minutes, guys. Sobrang kunat na itong phone na ito. And guys, you can check one of my review for battery optimization kung pang ilang place itong si Poco F7 pagdating sa battery endurance. Now guys, break muna tayo. Pag-usapan natin kung paano nyo mapanalunan itong review unit ko na Poco F7. Very simple lang guys. All you need to do is just watch this video, like this video, and comment on the comment section below. Comment nyo what is the main feature na gustong-gusto mo dito sa Poco F7. Together with the hashtag #GadgetSidekick and hashtag Poco F7. And I'll be going live after 1 week of publishing nitong video na ito para i-draw yung winner. And the winner should be present during the live stream. I'll be making an announcement kung kailan ako magla-live stream sa aking community. So don't forget to subscribe dito sa aking channel para ma-notify kayo. Or you can also follow me sa aking Facebook page para makita nyo ang announcement kung kailan ang draw ng Poco F7. Now, display naman pag-uusapan natin. This one has a 6.83-inch na 1.5K ultra bright display. Itong AMOLED screen niya has a 120Hz of screen refresh rate. Meron din siyang touch sampling rate of up to 480Hz. And ang kanyang instant touch sampling rate is up to 2,560Hz. Meron din siyang 3,840Hz of PWM dimming to make sure protected yung mata. And it is also being covered by the Corning Gorilla Glass 7i. Now, if you're the type of person na mahilig sa socials dito, I've been using this as my main daily driver for the past 2 weeks. And using this one pang social media, swiping on this one gives you that good experience dahil maganda ka na refresh rate, maganda ka na display, as well as masasabi ko sa inyo is that friendly siya sa aking mata dahil meron siyang PWM dimming dito to make sure na hindi masa-stress ang aking mata while babad na babad ako sa social media dito. And if mahilig ka naman manood ng videos dito like mga basketball games, NBA Finals, or you just simply want to watch mga Korean novela dito, or you just want to watch mga music video, or some other of your favorite shows dito, expect to give you a really good experience that it has a 1.5K display, giving you nice and crisp na display dito, smooth ang video dito, and I would say na the colors is definitely good and punchy. Na kung mahilig ka naman magpatugtog ng sounds dito on this phone using kanya loudspeaker, it has 2 loudspeakers here, isa na sa ilalim and isa na dito nakatago sa kanya earpiece. Patugtog lang tayo, let's see kung gaano kalakas ang kanyang max volume. Honestly, it's loud enough para sa akin and masasabi ko, it's almost kasing level ng Poco F7 Pro, pero mas malakas nga lang si Ultra. Now, let's talk about yung kanyang gaming performance. Importante dito sa kanya is that you go inside the game space para doon mo i-start ang iyong game, like what I always do. Dito kasi nakatago lahat ng games ko. I put everything here before I start. And this enables me to use the Wild Boost Optimization 4.0 to give me that better game experience dito on the smartphone. Plus, meron siyang bagong technology dito na Liquid Cool Technology 4.0 with Ice Loop to give it a better cooling experience dito. And together with UFS 4.1 dito sa loob, it should have a better read and write speed. So ano mga games na nilaro ko? I played Wuthering Waves, Crystal of Atlan, Call of Duty Mobile, Genshin Impact, and Farlight 84. Na pagdating sa Call of Duty Mobile, easy lang naman tong game na ito dito. And I was able to put it to ultra frame rate and medium graphical settings dito sa kanya. Sobrang okay ang kanyang gameplay. Sobrang smooth and what I can say is that very fast ang kanyang touch response dito sa screen niya. One of the good things dito sa kanya is very responsive. No? Plus yung kanyang graphics really good. Matutuwa ka talaga playing this game on this phone. And pinakamainit na inabot ko up to 30 minutes of gameplay is 40 degrees Celsius. Pagdating sa Wuthering Waves, all out din ako dito since kaya naman niya. No? Dapat 8S Gen 4. Piniga ko naman siya ng husto. And though I was able to feel some minimal na frame drops along the way, very minimal lang naman. No? Hindi naman siya garapalan. Kasi alam naman natin na this is a flagship chip. So, Wuthering Waves should not be a problem in a AAA game. One of the things na gusto ko dito sa kanya is mabilis ang kanyang touch response and wala kang maging problema sa kanyang gameplay. Another thing na magugustuhan mo rin dito sa kanya is maganda kanyang graphics. And after 30 minutes of gameplay, umabot ako ng 45 degrees Celsius. Pagdating dito sa bagong game na nilalaro ko, Crystal of Atlan, medyo nakakawili itong game na ito. No? It's more of a Genshin Impact type na game. Pero ang ganda ng kanyang battle na graphics dito sa kanya. And talagang ma-enjoy mo. Isang upuan ko, no, umabot ako ng level 32 on this game. And I would say nakaka-addict na nga lang talaga siya. Anyways, yung kanyang gameplay was really good. Wala akong naging problema. Sinagad-sagad ko yung kanyang graphical settings dito. And one thing that I like this game na is okay ang kanyang graphics. Plus yung kanyang touch response good. The sounds is good, clear. And pinakamainit inabot ko after 1.5 hours of gameplay, 42 degrees Celsius. Pagdating sa Farlight 84, maning-mani lang naman dito sa kanya. And I was expecting na magkakaroon siya ng kunting frame drops dito, pero wala naman ako na-feel sa kanya. I was monitoring it habang nagsisniper scope ako or nagdadash ako. On other phones na medyo hindi pa ganun ka-optimize dito sa Farlight 84, mafe-feel mo na mayroong kunting lag, no? Pero dito, wala ako na-feel. And the gameplay was okay. Quite smooth naman ang kanyang graphics, and pinakamainit na abot ko is 42 degrees Celsius after 30 minutes of gameplay. Pagdating sa Genshin Impact, sinagad-sagad ko rin ganang graphics. Dito meron ako na-feel na kunting frame drops, no, along the way. As expected din naman. Pero the gameplay was pretty smooth din naman along the way. Minor lang naman ang frame drops na na-feel ko dito sa kanya. Naglaro ako ng 1 hour, no, just to be able to test out fully itong game na ito. And wala akong naging problema naman dito sa kanya except that just a few frame drops along the way. The touch response is definitely okay. Ang ganda-ganda graphics, sounds good, excellent. Though it's a little bit hot at 45 degrees Celsius after 1 hour of gameplay. Kung naghanap ka naman ng case para sa inyong Poco F7, meron akong nabili from Shandy, and this is for Poco F7. Try lang natin, no, kung okay siya, mag-fit siya na maayos. Tingnan natin. Uy, sakto. Ang ganda dito sa case na ito, lagi kong gamit, is that yung 4 corners niya, bump resistance. So definitely, it's going to be protected pag nakatanggap siya ng hulog from no more than 2 meters. And if you're interested dito sa case na ito, which I highly recommend, check the link on the description. And guys, na-test ko ang 5G dito, sa Globe, sa SmartSat dito, lahat na working dito sa phone na ito. Wala kang maging problema sa signal. Mabilis naman sumagap on 3 of our main network provider here in the Philippines. Plus, by the way guys, this one is also IP68 dust and water resistant, and it also has a in-screen fingerprint sensor dito, hindi na dito sa sides. Another kicker is that this one supports the Bluetooth 6.0, which is the latest technology sa Bluetooth. I think yung advantage nito is even farther yung kanyang range. Eh mas maganda maging connection nito, hindi yung putol ng putol. Now guys, pag-usapan natin right now ang kanyang camera. This one has a 50MP na Sony IMX882 na main camera sensor with OIS. Together with it is a 8MP na ultra-wide lens. It can shoot you up to 4K and 60 FPS sa kanyang video. Pagdating naman sa harap, it has a 20MP na front-facing camera, and it can shoot you up to 1080p and 60 FPS. Now, since alam naman natin na si Poco F7 has a Sony IMX882 na sensor, so expect natin, no, you'll be able to get some really nice shots dito sa kanya since mas maganda ang kanyang pag-capture ng mga lights, no? So, checking out some of the outdoor shot na nakuha ko, this is a very simple shot, itong baton na ito. And looking at yung mga details dito sa baton niya, you'll be able to get some really nice details sa kanya since, yeah, as expected naman sa kanya. Tingnan ang look naman dito sa flower shot na ito, ito gumamela. Pag zoom in mo sa kanyang petal, you'll see a lot of details kanya, which yung mga ibang camera na at its almost same price point might be having a hard time to capture. Lalo na itong shot na ito, no? I love this shot kasi very simple, ang ganda ng focus na dito sa subject, and it was able to blur it all the way to the background. Now, if you take a look at this one, I would say that yung kanyang color reproduction is almost the same as that na nakikita ko in actual, and plus yung mga details is also intact. Ito naman flower na ito, honestly, magandang kanyang pagka-focus, though ang focus niya nandito sa harap, not dito sa gitna, pero I would say na okay, very nice ang kanyang capture dito sa flower na ito. And one thing na magusto mo dito sa kanya, yung kanyang green is a little bit saturated, pero hindi yung OA na pagka-saturate pag nakita mo itong mga greens na ito. Na itong simpleng shot na ito, ang ganda ng kanyang pagka-pink, no? Yung simpleng baby pink na color, and it looks very soothing sa aking mata. Itong purple flower naman na ito, sa ibang camera, no, might have a little bit hard time to calibrate its color, pero ito is almost as good as yung nakita ko with my naked eye, plus yung ganang details. Now, kung tinignan mo ng shot na ito, you'd see a lot of details dito sa kanyang clouds. And pag tinignan mo naman dito sa figure na ito, I think medyo hindi lang masyado convinced sa kanyang color kasi on actual, makita mo medyo mas bronze konti. Ito, makita mo medyo mas rusty ang kanyang color. And taking a quick garden shot, looks okay naman. Na pag tinignan naman natin ultra-wide shot, this is how it looks like. Normal. 2 times. 5 times. 10 times. Okay, not bad pa rin after 10 times. And one thing to notice din is yung kanyang color ng sky sa kanyang ultra-wide and sa kanyang normal looks almost the same, which is good. Now, if we move to indoors naman, makita mo itong shot na ito, ang ganda-ganda pagka-focus sa subject, simply blurring all the way to the background. Pagdating naman dito sa shot na ito, ang ganda-ganda pagka-focus dito sa subject, looks nice, and equally said din dito. No? So, there are some other cameras na medyo hirap mag-focus dito kasi masyado siyang maliit. And itong subject shot na ito looks good, and background blur is okay. Ito mga product shot na ito looks nice, even though na medyo may kunting reflection from yung halogen bulb, okay naman. Hindi naman siya nag-glare out. Pag tinignan mo naman itong mga bean shot na ito, pag zoom in mo, not bad. Pati itong mga handcrafted beverage sa Starbucks looks quite good. Ang ganda ng kanyang picture and okay pa rin ang details dun sa kanyang whipped cream. And pag food photography na pag-usapan natin, pag zoom in mo, makita mo mga oil dito sa kanya sa cheese. Oh. Kung medyo mas detalyado kang tao, pag zoom in mo dito sa stitching dito sa pusang ito, kita mo yung mga threads. Ayan, linaw. Oh. And I like the way yung pagka-reproduce din nitong painting na ito. Looks really nice. Hindi siya overexposed from the right kasi medyo maaraw. And it looks quite good. Pagdating naman sa selfie camera, I would say not bad ang kanyang camera. And one thing to notice is that medyo na-beautify siya konti. By default, medyo nalinis yung aking mukha na wala mga blemishes. Pero hindi naman siya masyadong OA ang pagka-linis, no? Hindi yung over-beautify. Yung tamang linis lang naman. Which I think I appreciate naman dito sa mga shots ko. Quite good. And pag pumasok ka naman sa indoor, mapapansin mo, it's going to be a little bit softer yung details niya compared sa outdoor. Pero not so bad naman ang shots niya from the indoor. Pag nakadetect siya ng tao, automatic magiging 0.8 siya, mag-ultra wide siya to capture the whole group. If you're using the front-facing camera for vlog, not bad Honestly, details is there and hindi siya shaky, one thing to notice. Pero pansin ko pag nag-change ng lighting situation, medyo naghahabol siya. But overall, not bad. If you look at its kanyang rear camera naman, ang performance niya is also quite good. Looking at yung kanyang stabilization is also good. Plus yung kanyang details is also not bad for a 4K video. So guys, hawak natin right now is the color white variant. Eh meron ding special na color. Hawak ni Sir Janus, color silver.
Silver yan. Angas. So, guys, ano sa tingin nyo mas maangas? Comment nyo dyan sa comment section.
Siyempre. Ako, pag casual lang hanap mo, white talaga. Pero kung gamer, yan. Pero mapapanalunan nyo ito, sa aking channel. Ganun agad no? Dito and tayo anong color mapapanalunan nila sa channel mo?
Ay, ito pala yung mapapanalunan nila sa akin.
White pa rin. So, check nyo yung mechanics. Now guys, anong masasabi ko dito sa phone na ito? Si Poco F7. Perfect na perfect tong phone na ito if you can score this one at 19,499 after your early bird price plus yung kanyang platform voucher discount. Okay to under 20,000 pesos. Wala akong masasabi dito sa kanya. Definitely it's going to blow your mind away. Pagdating sa gaming performance, okay siya. Camera is quite good. The display is also okay. Plus, yung kanyang battery endurance is probably one of the top 5 para sa akin. Kaya guys, would you purchase the Poco F7? Let me know in the comments kung gusto nyo manalo nito phone na ito. Don't forget to fulfill the mechanics. And don't forget to share this video para marami magkaroon ng chance to win this phone from me. And of course, definitely you need to subscribe to my channel to be able to win this phone. I'll see you in my next video. And so, ako para si Richmond and you're watching Gadget Sidekick. Like and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. For one of my latest uploads, click the dito. And for one of my popular uploads, click here.